What's up everyone, the wildcard competition has been played and we have a brand new set of nominations from Kyland, but who is actually on the block and who's the target this week? We've got lots and lots to talk about, guys, so welcome to your live feed update. First things first, let's talk about the wildcard competition. So, Sarah Beth has won the wildcard competition. Massive congratulations to her. She beat out Frenchie and Brent. Frenchie and Brent, I think, were both very, very keen on getting the safety this week. But Sarah Beth beat them out to it, so huge congratulations to her, as I said. However, we have a little twist. She did not take safety. She was offered the chance to take safety, but for her to take safety, she would have to move to another team. So, therefore, she decided, hell no, I'm staying on the Kings, and she foregoed her safety. But there you go, guys. First comp win for Sarah Beth. Massive congratulations to her. Things were moving pretty fast in the Big Brother house in the afternoon. After the wildcard competition, people were going in and out of the HOH room basically to do very quick one-on-ones with Kyland, because he would then have to nominate very shortly, literally about an hour and a half after the wildcard competition. So people were going in and giving their pitches and everything like that, and it was literally the rise and fall of Frenchie. That's what I tweeted as well. That's what it felt like I was watching. People were literally going in left, right and centre and saying, Frenchie's the problem here, Frenchie's the problem there. Literally the whole slaughterhouse just turned on him. Literally the slaughterhouse slaughtered Frenchie. And I have to say, if you guys have been watching the show, then it should have been of no surprise that this was coming extremely soon, that Frenchie was going to have the downfall. Whether or not he is necessarily going to stay in the house this week, we're about to find out, but it's safe to say Frenchie has, no pun intended, butchered his social game. Yeah, there was a pun intended, I don't even know, I tried to hide that one over. He has butchered his social game and slaughtered his position in the house. So yes, everybody threw Frenchie under the bus very, very fast. Tiffany did come up in her one-on-one. I'm going to note out Tiffany's because hers was my favourite one-on-one. The way she talks, so like purposefully and carefully and intricately when she's talking strategy to someone. To me, I've said it again, and I know people were bringing it up in the comment section yesterday when I was talking about it, but she reminds me so much of Big Brother 3 and Big Brother 7 All-Stars as Danielle Reyes. It's just so, it's like watching the master at work. I don't want to speak too soon about Tiffany being like, 'cause it's, you know, it's week 2, you know, but she seriously has given me massive Danielle Reyes vibes of just that sort of, she's extremely good at manipulating and persuading and planting seeds in people's heads and working every single damn side of the house without anybody going, we need to get her out. It's literally, it's masterful watching her work, and she was doing exactly the same with Kyland. So she was pitching to him that Brent and Whitney need to go up on the block off Frenchie, and I'll reveal the nom shortly, but she may not have got what she wanted, let's say it that way, but she did sort of definitely put the pitch into his head. And you know, Kyland was given this whole thing of, you know, he wanted to, he said he wasn't giving out answers, he was basically just asking questions and people had to answer. Tiffany came in and she said, I'm going to ask you questions and you don't have to answer. And she was saying, all I want you to do is think about, where's your position in this house, how much power do you have, are you going to use this HOH to your advantage, just questions like that make. And Kyland was stopping in his tracks and going, and proper thinking it through. She is masterful. I'm telling you guys, she is incredible at what she is doing in this house, and it's just, oh, it's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant to watch. And anyway, Kyland then turned around to her and said something along the lines of, why can't we work with Brent and Whitney? Do you think we could work with Brent and Whitney? And she was like, she said something, she made some sort of snake reference that was just perfect. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head, where she said something like, working with a snake is waiting to get your head bit off. And I was like, she knows her shit. She knows her shit, and she knows what she's doing. And she wants to make sure that, like, not only she's covering her own game, she's covering other people's games that will cover her. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Nothing but respect for Tiffany. The feeds went down for the nominations and they came back, and our nominees that Kyland has put on the block are Brittany and Frenchie. So there we go, guys. Brittany and Frenchie are the first nominees of the week. I say first because obviously the veto could be won and it could change everything up, but as of now, guys, we have Brittany and Frenchie on the block. Straight after the nomination ceremony, we saw Brittany crying her eyes out. She was not happy at all, very, very upset. And Frenchie was kind of, he just shifted into this different Frenchie mode where he was saying, don't worry, Brittany, I've got your back, I'm the target, you don't need to worry at all. He literally went out of his way to say that if he wins the veto, he's going to put it around Brittany's neck. I'll repeat that, guys. Frenchie said if he wins the veto, Frenchie, a nominee, he's going to put it around the other nominee, Brittany's neck. Let's see if he holds to that. I seriously think this could be another case of the old, let's promise the whole house safety case. I don't know if he'll follow through on that. I know he'll piss a lot of people off if he wins the veto and then doesn't use it on Brittany or use it on himself, or didn't use didn't use the veto just to secure his own eviction would be equal to not using it on her, I guess. I don't know. It's difficult. Either way, he's promised that he's going to use it on Brittany, so let's see if he follows through on that one. But yeah, I mean, for someone who has gone power mad in week 1, I at least thought he would fight for himself rather than someone else. So that was interesting to see him say that. Derek F was mad because of him being in the Jokers. He's annoyed with Kyland because Kyland nominated 2 of the other Jokers. He thought he'd be fair, quote unquote fair, in Big Brother, and he would nominate a person from each team to be fair. So he was really annoyed there at the fact he nominated 2 Jokers. And I think he had the slight worry that he was going to get backdoored or something like that. But there we go, guys. What did I say? I said in a couple of videos ago, I tweeted about the fact that the Slaughterhouse, I'd give them 2 weeks max before there's a crack. It was 4 days ago I said that, and there's already 2 cracks in the Slaughterhouse. 1 being Frenchie on the block, and 2 being Derek annoyed at Kyland and probably coming for him. Many more cracks to come today, folks. Frenchie was talking to Derek F, saying that the best thing that could happen right now would be America knows what his intentions are, or he feels that America knows what his intentions are, so at any point he could wander into the DR, and there's a nice little envelope of safety sat on the seat. I'll let you guys answer that one. After Brittany had calmed down, she ended up speaking to Kyle, and I remember earlier saying she doesn't even want to squash anything with him, or she just didn't want to talk to him because I think she was just so shocked at the fact she'd been put up on the block. But anyway, she chatted with Kyland later, and Kyland was reassuring her, saying that he can see her game continuing after this week. It's going to be very tough to see Brittany go this week if that, after all these things that have been said to her, I'm going to use the veto on you, you are definitely staying this week, you're not the target. That will be crushing for Brittany if she ends up going this week. I do like Brittany, she seems like a very down-to-earth girl, I've got a lot of respect for her, so it would be sad to see her go this week. And I'd kind of be annoyed at Kyland slightly. I know it's a game, but the fact that he's saying all this stuff and then, he's also equally talking about how he wants to try and squash things with the Slaughterhouse, just so, like squash things as in like squash the beef with Frenchie so everybody can get back together. But at the same time, then he's going like, maybe we should just get Frenchie out. It's kind of worrying because Kyland started off this week as, yeah, we've got a really great HOH, and I'm slightly wavering because if one of them comes down off the block, I've got a feeling he's not going to put another Slaughterhouse member up. He was talking to Arza later on about the cookout and saying that, just because it might get suspicious, he may have to like put somebody up that he necessarily wouldn't like, because Kyland is associated with a lot of the damn house right now, and especially with, the team's twist in play as well. There's only a select few to nominate, and people are telling him you need to like put up Brent, you need to put up Whitney. But for some reason, he's staying away from that. I don't know why he's like scared of making a move, and it annoys me because, I mean, like as much as Frenchie's was chaos last week, at least he kind of put up people who wouldn't usually, especially Travis. Listen, right, Travis was a nice guy, but listen, people like Travis rarely go home first in Big Brother history. So at least Frenchie kind of got that done essentially. But I'm worried Kyland's going to kind of flop out, and then like it just. That didn't sound quite right. I'm worried Kyland is going to just flop, essentially, and say if Frenchie comes off the block or something like that, or even Brittany. I mean, he might not even secure Frenchie's eviction. I'm just very, like, there's a lot to take into account for this one. I could be totally wrong here, but I mean, it's just a worry. It's a slight worry that's there that he may not follow through on actually getting the job done this week, because he's playing for the big alliance, and that is very disappointing if that's the case, because listen, 8 people aren't going to get the 750,000. Only one person's going to do it. So squash the Slaughterhouse. Literally squash it, get rid of it, and do what's best for your game, not for 8 people's game. Xavier was telling Kyland that he should be prepared for Frenchie coming into the HOH room probably periodically in the week, just to try and sell him on a bunch of stuff that probably isn't true, sort of saying he's going to be trying to save himself. I really don't know what to expect of this guy. I mean, we didn't know what happened last week. He said that he kind of is happy to go home and he wants to use the veto on Brittany, so by that logic you'd think he's not going to do much, but I'm sure after a good night's sleep we'll see what Frenchie gets up to today, and the chaos that ensues in the Big Brother 23 house, which has been incredibly entertaining so far, and BB Gods, we thank you for it, so thank you. But yeah, guys, that kind of ended the day there, but bring on the next day of madness in the Big Brother house. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. I'm having an absolute blast discussing all the things that are going on in the house because it's so much chaos and so much unpredictability. I love it a lot. Just the fact that when I was discussing the nominees there, even though I was saying Kyland HOH may end up being a flop, the fact that it was a may or a maybe or I don't know shows the unpredictability of this season, which is fan-bloody-tastic, and I'm very, very excited to see what comes today in the Big Brother house. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all are staying safe, staying positive and staying healthy out there. Be kind to one another, guys. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Do all of that stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.